we're going to take these routes. And they're all underwater. And I'm like, what do you mean underwater? Very interesting. Freeways literally became like lakes and oceans. Welcome back to another episode of Brutally Honest. Today, you guys have been asking a lot in the comments about like my personal life and everything. And luckily, my buddy David's here. And we're going to kind of divulge into how we met, some of the stuff we've done, not sexually.
Maybe.
Wait till you guys see some of these pictures. It's going to be crazy.
Ideally, we won't admit to any crimes, but you never know.
But some of the cool stuff about how I met David when I was in the military, and we met through doing a bunch of search and rescue stuff, like real life search and rescue, working for FEMA. Ended up, doing a bunch of stuff in Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Maria, and how it was just this crazy ride. But yeah, this is more of a not true topic podcast, but more so about me and just a bunch of like funny stories and stuff since he's in town. Thanks for hanging out with me, bro.
Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. It's good to be.
Go ahead and let everybody know about yourself really quick, man. Like where are you from? What your pronouns are? And I'm just kidding. David's never been on the podcast and before. He's like, oh, what can I cannot say? I'm like, it's brutally honest with Nikko. You could say literally whatever the fuck you want. But yeah, just let them know like what you do and then we'll just get after it.
Yeah. Cool. So my name's David. I've known Nikko for many years. Yeah, I work in protective services on the private side, primarily in admin now.
People looking at you like, ain't no
bro
boy right now.
Yeah, dude. See, yeah, you got to throw that admin in there, dude. Like I ride a desk 90% of the time, and every now and then I'll get to hop out and make some money and be cool like Nikko. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I live in Texas. I live down in Houston most of the time. But
okay, cool. I guess we just jump right into kind of like how we met. Wait, when we met, before we even get into there, were you doing security and executive protection stuff before, or were you doing like the medical stuff?
Yeah, so I was doing both. I had just left the fire department that I was with probably like a year prior, and I was doing security at like a hospital, just like normal armed security for them. Harvey hit, and ended up working at a hospital down in Houston, running their security program because like nobody was able to get there. Harvey ended, and I got a phone call from a buddy I'd gone to SWAT school with that his agency out on the border of Louisiana was getting hammered, and there were like 2-3 cops on duty, and they had like nobody to assist. I'm like, oh, dude, like fuck yeah, bro, we'll deputize us, we'll run out there, we'll go have some fun. So I made a couple phone calls, grabbed my at the time my wife and our buddy Trevor, and just happened to terow together band of merry men, and went on over to the Louisiana border and supplemented that team out there providing police services and water rescue and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then I guess we were out there for like
kid just shows up.
We were out there for like a day, and then we leave. I was doing patrols with my boy Josh. And I like come back, and there's just these 2 army cats like sitting in, like we were staying in the fucking in the courtroom.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're staying in the court,
literal courthouse. And so we're chilling there with like rifles. I had my mats and shit set up and beds. And I come walking in, I see these 2 army cats, you and your sergeant, staff sergeant, Far. And I'm very antisocial. Who the fuck are these guys?
No, dude, you fucking, you're like, mugging. How the fuck old are you, kid? You're like, you're like, no, I remember I wasn't even. I think what
you were like 20.
All you guys, I was 20 years old, and I was at E5, and everyone's like,
yeah, like who the fuck is this sergeant? Who's this kid? Child?
And, well, y'all thought I was with 19th group,
because we had all the SF dudes were coming through.
Yeah,
and they're like, dude, this child is not like I refuse to allow him to be. Not because I gotta say it, right? Like, no, bro. Like, I have not failed so hard in my life that this fucking dude is an SF cat, and he's 5 years younger than me. Whatever the fuck. But yeah, ended up talking to him, and he was like, yeah, we were you're out of Fort Polk at the time, right? With 10th Mountain or whoever, and you're like, yeah, we got hit with a hurricane, and it calmed down, and saw that this area was getting hit real bad, and we just started calling places, and
Yup.
this police department's the only one that picked up and said, "Hell yeah, we got a team out here already. Come on through."
Dude, they
just
at
showed up.
Pinehurst, so here, I'll run it back for the beginning on my end at least. So basically, Hurricane Harvey hit. The one that's it. Dude. So me and David literally like back to back hit. Not ass cheeks, but these hurricanes, when it was Harvey, Irma, and Maria, damn near hit back to back. This was really, really bad. And this was in 17, right?
Yeah, 17.
So 2017, I'm like 20 years old. I just got promoted to sergeant. I've been in the Army for only like 2 years at the time. I'm in my sniper and reconnaissance platoon. I'm a team leader, and Harvey hits. I'm like, oh, hurricane, whatever. I originally am from California, so that shit, water ain't even there, bro. We just got the beach and that's it. So Harvey hits, and I start seeing all these images on the news and on social media, and I was like, holy shit. I had no idea hurricanes and all that type of stuff could be so devastating. I had never seen anything like that in my life. And then you guys know from like my main YouTube channel, Nikko Ortiz, I've gone to U.S. Army Sniper School, done a bunch of videos on that, and I've done videos mentioning and talking with my buddy Far, who was the sniper section leader at the time in the platoon. We had a 4-day weekend coming up, and I was like, dude, do you see this shit? And he's like, dude, this is absolutely fucked up. He's like, I'm from Texas. He's like, I gotta go help my fellow Texans and shit. And I was like, dude, I want to go help. And I was like, we have to go do something. And then he's like, we should start calling departments and like try and go help them. And he's like, I'm a dumbass still, but he was like an adult and like knew what to do. And he's like, follow me. And we walk up to the commander's office. He's like, sir, listen, we have a 4-day weekend. We need to pass because we might not be coming back on the 4th day. We may have to travel on the 4th day, but can you allow us like a mileage pass and an extension to go help out in Texas for Hurricane Harvey? And he's like, and then Far, I'm pretty sure, was like, sir, we're a battalion asset. He's like, if you say no, I'm just going to go talk to the battalion commander. And he's like, you can go. He's like, just please don't like step over me and pass over me like that. And we're like, fucking cool. So we don't really tell anybody. And it was like Saturday morning. No. So Friday morning, because we had a 4-day pass, we had a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Friday morning, we wake up super early. We get in my little tiny red Ford Focus, bro. Dude, so small. We start driving to Texas, right? And we're just kind of chit-chatting. It's not a big deal. Like 2 hours go by. We're like, oh, wait, here, let me back this up a little bit. Far's calling the night before all these different police departments, fire departments, these like cities and stuff. Nobody's picking up, which makes sense because it's an absolutely like fucked situation, right? But one of these departments picks up and we're like, hey, he's like, my name's Staff Sergeant Far. He's like, I'm a sniper and reconnaissance platoon leader. I want to come down there with another NCO. He's a sergeant. He's a highly qualified NCO. He just got off of a deployment as well. He has a bunch of schools and he's highly trained in like medical. So we'd love to come down there and help out. And they're like, basically from what he told me, the response was, get down here, please. Like, it is bad. We start driving down. It's Pinehurst, right?
Yeah, it's Pinehurst.
So we drive down to Pinehurst. Someone go get in trouble.
Bro, I know. I was trying so hard not to say like any names or any shit like that, bro.
No. So
the border of Louisiana.
Yeah,
we're like 4 cities over there. Only 3 of them have a police department. Come on, bro.
So Pinehurst is in basically southeast Texas.
Right outside Orange, right on the border.
Yeah. So we start driving, and after about 2 hours of driving, there's literally nothing. It's like nighttime. We left at like 4 a.m. Bro, out of nowhere, I'm driving on this road, and all of a sudden, the edge of the road is like glaring, like a flashlight. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, bro, Far, you see that? And I roll down the windows, and it's water. Yep. We were driving, we're like on this like road where it's like raised, right? And you could just see like the ditches before. I just kind of like zoned out because it's early in the morning. We've been driving, and it's just covered in water. And we're like, oh shit. We're like, dude, that's like at least 5 to 6 feet deep. I kind of panicked a little bit because I'm in this little Ford Focus, and then the water started to cover the road. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to know when we're fucking turning. We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. But we kept driving. We hit the highways. And then long story short, I was nervous that we weren't going to be able to get to y'all because I thought like it was going to end up being like 3 feet of water. I was like, bro, this Ford Focus like bro, I'm poor right now. Like, ain't no fucking way I can afford a new car and I can't ditch this thing here. But we end up pulling up and there was an army truck there. There was an LMTV. And apparently it was National Guard.
Yeah, all the National Guard were like at the Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
All the LMTVs and the Humvees, and we had a lot of fun with that shit too. But dude, when you were driving in, did you see like the Jersey barriers, like the K barriers in the center line? Like,
yeah.
Because going west out of Pinehurst, the Jersey barriers on the north side were
they're just
flooded
covered.
as fuck.
Yeah, they covered it.
And it couldn't drain. And so it was like running over the top. So you got like on one side, it's like a dam, but it went on for fucking miles of just like, 3-4 feet of water in the turn. And then it drops off and it's like 15 feet of water on like the other side of the road. It was fucking crazy, dude. If you drive out there now, they cut out the entire bottom of like every other Jersey barrier to let the water flow through because it just, it got clogged up.
I really can't even describe how bad it was. And throughout, while we're talking about this, we'll like drop some photos and images and stuff in here. Yeah, even going like when we were trying to get to y'all, highways, everything were blocked off. Police were not letting people through. But then when we would pull up, we're in uniform, right? Because we're just like, we're not trying to like seem cool because we're in like uniform. We're like, we're actually going to need it as like a badge of verification to get places and do stuff. Because if you have never been in a like a place where there's looting, people are being consistently robbed, like, people are actually dying, the police technically don't exist in some areas at the time, you'll be blocked off from highways and it's just like dead. Like there's no cars, there's no people, no nothing, no lights don't work half the time. So the police were blocking off the highways and all that stuff. So we're like, we need to wear these uniforms so we can actually get from A to B. So we kept getting stopped at like all these on and off ramps and the police were like, who are you? And we're like, we're just here to assist. We're soldiers and we're supposed to be going to help at Pinehurst Police Department. And they're like, all right, just know at this point in time, some of the parts of these roads are extremely flooded. You are moving at your own risk, but being, a first responder, I can let you go. And we're like, all right, cool. So that worked out for us. But we're able to finally pull up to you guys. We pull up into the parking lot of the police department. And we see the LMTV, we're like, we think we're hot shit. This is where I realized my ego had to like totally take a shit.
Story of my career, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Every turn is like, oh yeah, nah, fuck you, bro. Like, okay, thanks.
So we pull up and right off the bat, we saw saw the soldiers' patches, and it was like 3 dudes, right? And they were like a PFC and then like 2 privates, like PV1s. And so we're like, oh, it must be like National Guard or something, like whatever. We're the dudes around here. We got staff sergeant over here. Not a big deal. We like knock on the front door and then like this lady or someone's like, hey, yeah, oh, you guys are with the soldiers. Yeah, come on in here. And we're about to have a meeting for the morning. And we'll get you in contact with whoever you need to be in contact with. Here's the briefing room. They walk us to the briefing room and we walk in there like with our chest out and everything. We're like, yeah, what's up? We about to impress, right? Walk in there, sitting down, chilling, is
feet
like
up on the table.
Feet up on the table is like 10 special forces soldiers. We're like, what the fuck did we just walk into? We're like looking at their patches. We're like, there's the Green Berets, and it's just like special forces. We're like, all right, we just went from here to like below the fucking bar.
They were so fucking cool though, dude. They were so chill,
they were so cool. Yeah, basically it was just 19 special forces group dudes, and they had gone out there to assist as well. And we just ended up being at the same places, y'all.
Yeah, because so Orange has like the only active like airfield over there. It was like the only airfield that wasn't like flooded or whatever. So they were flying like all sorts of dudes in. All the National Guard guys were there. There's some fucking Raiders there. Some of the Marine dudes were there.
There's like controllers and stuff, and like a handful of people out there. But they kind of stayed like far away. I know it's basically just like me and Far, the 2-man element. It was like
national assets.
Yeah. It was like you guys and like the police and like fucking firefighter group, and then the special forces guys. Yeah. Basically, like, I don't know. I feel like this is where it all starts, but I feel like the journey there was it. But basically while we're there the whole time, it was like, I had never been in anything like that. When we showed up, you guys had MREs and everything. It was like being in the field. Yeah. Like, hey, you don't know when you're going to get to eat because we might get stuck out there. Yep. And do you remember the first thing like we did when we all like linked up?
Yeah. So we were doing like all sorts of water rescues and shit.
Dude, the fact that you just said that, and I want to make sure you remember this. So this is when I first started doing the search and rescue shit and learning about high water and low water rescue. Do you remember when we were like on the freeway in those like swamp boats, like going fast, and the fucking boat in front of us hit the fucking rail, and fucking the dudes flipped out of the boat.
The fucking we were like rolling through like the towns, like we were rolling through like the the little like bayou towns and shit.
Yeah, guys. So by the way, the water on these roads. So imagine like a regular town. Yeah. Now imagine
it's like neck deep. Tops,
yeah,
like
it's
at the lowest.
At the lowest, it's at your waist. Like guy. The water was literally at your waist. Like you had to swim to basically go anywhere. So we had these like swamp speedboats that the fire department. It was a fire department.
It was like the flat bottom like John boats.
Yeah, we had 2 of them, and then we had 2 Zodiacs too.
Yeah,
because I was riding in the Zodiacs, and then
wasn't it Trevor who hit that shit? Like,
I know,
like gouged the bottom of the boat because I wasn't actually there for that one because I was running like during the day I was running patrols with my SWAT buddy. And so, like, we were doing, like, quote-unquote police. I'm not a police officer.
Well, you guys were doing the looting patrols and shit.
Presence patrols and whatnot. And then y'all did the water rescues during the day. And then at night, because we had night vision because we thought we were so fucking cool and all this other shit. Like, because that's going to fucking help, right? And it's, like, foggy as hell. And can't see fucking anything.
I can't see shit.
Like, but I got nuts,
we're near Louisiana. It's so humid.
I can't see anything.
Why are we sweating right now? Oh, man. Shit. I feel like we had to hit these one at a time now because there's so many things. But,
dude, yeah.
So basically, we all get there. And I feel like that was almost the first day because that's where I was still trying to bond and, like, figure everybody out, right? We get shown to our bunks. We're in the city courthouse, and then they're like, "All right, let's do this shit. We're all gonna go out today. We're gonna take these routes, and they're all underwater." And I'm like, "What do you mean underwater? Very interesting." Freeways literally became like lakes and oceans. And we were riding in Zodiacs over freeways and bridges like that you could see cars. Over cars.
You go over cars and you feel your prop hit the fucking roof of the car.
Yeah, it'd be like, we'd be moving. You just feel like quick shit because you go fast. It'd be like, but we would like hit these routes and stuff. We would be going up to people's homes. We'd be like, "What do you need?" They're like, "We're not leaving. Like, this is my house." Because there's like a lot of looting. So like people would be jumping around from house to house trying to steal like TVs or find safes and stuff. Because a lot of people just left what they had to try and find like dry land. Like
when that water started rising, it rose so fast too. Like you don't have like the rain and the storm and the bayous start filling up, but as soon as that shit like crests, like you're fucked. And that water like filled up overnight. Like they were like literally flushed out of their fucking houses. Everything everywhere. It's ridiculous.
So crazy. Yeah. And we were going to like from house to house. We're checking on people. We were transporting people to like dry land on the freeways. I remember we were walking like through the water. We're like in waist deep water. And we went up to this whole house and there's just this lady like sitting in a rocker. And she's just like, the water got so high so fast. And I just thought I'd sit here, and when I get hungry, I go to the kitchen and I get some food. No, she said because one of the special forces dude was like, "Man, where did you sleep?" She's like, "I just sat here in the chair." She's like, "I was just nervous about an alligator or something coming in here and getting me because my door won't close and the windows are open. So I just sit here and I sleep here." But her feet were like fucked up. Yeah. And then when we went, like, because we had an 18 Delta there with us too. So that's a special forces medic. He's like checking her out. He's like, "Ma'am, you're extremely dehydrated. If you're okay with it, we'd love to like take you out of here." And so she came on the Zodiac with us, not that swamp boat. But so what happened was while we're going back, this is like the end of the day now, right? Yeah. Nothing too crazy happened. We stopped some people from looting. We like drew on them. We're all carrying weapon systems. And dude, it's like we're racing almost on this freeway. This freeway is just like nothing. And then we kind of come into this, like, there's trees on both sides and we're just driving on the straight freeway. The Zodiacs are not as fast as this swamp boat. Like this thing rips. Like they're just like, meh, and like take off. We're watching the boat in front of us, this big metal speedboat going. And all of a sudden it's like, meh, dead stops, dude. Just bow. And we're like, whoa! And dude, people go like flying like 17 feet forward out of the boat. And we're like, oh shit. And the thing is, we were probably 50 yards from like dry land where we were gonna ramp everything. Yeah. And we're like, whoa, what happened? And then they're like, we think we're stuck. They're like, we think we're stuck under something. And we're like, what? And we like, I jump out, another dude jumps out, and we like go to like feel like me. I'm just tripped out about alligators. Like me being in Louisiana,
snakes,
I'm like
so many snakes
everywhere. There was like debris. There's like poop in the water. I don't want to touch anything, but I go and I feel it, and I'm like, oh, and I touch it. I'm like, this is a car rail. I'm like, they're like, someone could be like, you mean a guide rail? But yeah. And I was like, you guys ran over the guide rail. And so it took like a few of us to push the boat back. We were able to get it back on the land and put it onto the ramp. But when we pulled the boat out of the water and we looked underneath, Dude, there was I don't know if you remember seeing it in the parking lot, a giant
There's like
rip
a big
in
ass
the boat.
gash in it. Yeah, and Trevor was losing his fucking mind.
Yeah,
Like, this isn't my boat. This is the fire department's boat.
Yeah, it was
man.
the
They're gonna
fire
fucking
department's
kill me,
boat.
bros. Like, dude, like, come on, man. It's an emergency vehicle. Like, you have insurance, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but dude,
He was not happy.
It was.
And then we lost his
crazy.
radio. Like, one of the dudes hopped out of the boats. So like there was one place kind of back there, bro. We took one of the flat bottom, one of the other John boats out.
Yeah.
And we're all armored up and cool guy shit. And we got the pictures I sent you when we were clearing the fucking houses.
Yeah.
Because like, anytime like a door was open or anything like that, we'd go.
That was a day or
house.
two before we had showed up, right?
No. So we remember when?
Oh, was that when we had split up for the one day?
No, because the pictures is like us fucking actually doing the clearings at night.
Oh no, that's when we were sitting in the back. I was sitting in the back.
Oh, dude, and then we raided that fucking. I don't know. If we talk about
I was
that.
about. No, we're gonna talk about that shit.
Okay, but first.
Okay, yeah.
So we're doing.
Holding people
concluding the water rescue shit. So like we would also respond to like 911 calls because like we had no fucking boat.
Well, it was just
kind of
you and fucking
me and Josh. So we
I was
went,
like, we gonna get Josh in trouble,
so we
bro.
went, no, he's cool. He never,
I love
he's
Josh.
fine. He's
He's a
fine. He's
good
not with
guy.
her anymore. He's with a different agency. He's fine. Fuck.
That's the fake name. Don't worry
it's
about
not his
it.
real name. Definitely don't look that up.
It's not his real name. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, so we were like rolling down this road and we kept hitting the top of cars with the prop and shit. And so we knew we were, it wasn't super, super deep. It's probably chest deep. And we pull up to this house where there's supposed to be like a cardiac event going on. Okay. And we pull up. There was like a fence, right? And so we couldn't like go because there was like 4 inches of the fence was sticking out. And so I go to like hop out of the boat and like it was like the road and then a fucking like drainage ditch and then the front yard. Okay. So I hop out into the fucking drainage ditch and that shit is like 8 fucking feet deep.
You got to be careful where you jump.
Holy
I
shit,
did not
man.
know. Every time, the first time my head went underwater into poo-poo shit,
that
pee-pee water,
nasty
bro.
ass fucking water going up your nose and your eyes. Like, I'm dying, dude.
I was
this
like,
is
I'm
it.
holding on to the raft and I'm sliding off like a little bitch into the water.
Oh, dude,
like,
I fucking jumped, man. I was like, had my rifle, fucking jumped out. And thankfully, I had my rifle out, dude. Yeah. Thank God I had those cool guy, like floaty plates that like won't drown you. Otherwise, I would not be here.
Swimmer cut plates and shit.
Dude, the fucking like ultralight ones. But yeah, hopped out fucking straight underwater. Fucking like, oh fuck, came back up and grabbed the fence and just right in that fucking culvert, dude, or the drainage ditch. But that shit was so fun. Like looking back on it, that shit was so like unnecessarily dangerous. Like if we went back there today,
no, dude, it was actually super dangerous because like when we were actually out there. Oh wait, it wasn't until I was gonna talk about the CDC stuff that happened when we were in Florida for Irma, but we're not even there yet. But apparently what happened when we were still in Texas is the water, like we mentioned, is extremely dirty. Sewage, all that shit is above ground now. You're swimming in it. So you have to take like showers at the end of every single day. You can't skip a bath even though you want to.
Oh, we didn't take showers all that whole fucking week, dude. Like
what? Bro, we were forced to shower, bro.
You didn't
fucking
shower?
Pinehurst? Yeah.
No, dude. I was awake for like 5 days straight, bro. I didn't shower at all,
I didn't fucking
man.
sleep, but you didn't change your clothes or nothing?
Dude, I might have taken like 2 showers the whole time.
I wonder
it doesn't
if you were
come to mind.
Wasn't Trevor making fun of you then about that shit? Because
Probably,
I know
gross.
1 or 2 dudes were like not changing clothes or anything, and I was like,
dumbass. So I changed my. So they had that big ass diesel generator out back, and I would like dry all my clothes off on that because it was the only thing that would dry anything. Off of the exhaust, and so my boots were like all crunchy and shit off of that.
That's the difference then, because because we're wearing like the uniforms and shit that we had, we were just like drenched all the time, so we had to swap because you can actually very easily get like a flesh-eating bacteria.
Oh my god, dude! I got that shit. I got that shit a couple years ago.
Happened to you dumbass bitch.
Yeah, bro, it's on my fucking leg. Is all like almost lost my leg.
Yeah. So you can
rescuing that fucking dude from drowning.
You can die. You can get serious infections. You get flesh-eating bacteria, which will literally start to eat your skin away. So you need to wash and get clean during all of those things. But
super super dangerous. Like unnecessary. It was fucking ridiculously dangerous. But it was fun. It was cool. It was
getting into gunfights and shit.
Oh, bro.
Pop. Like, no. Okay, so I guess we'll jump into the fucking the little raid. So I think this is only the second day that happened.
Yeah, so we had just linked with National Guard because they weren't allowed to do fucking anything, but they were supposed to be doing present patrol. Right?
No, so this was a different National Guard element. Like these dudes,
like regular
guard
convoy
of like 5 Humvees.
And so we ended up like commandeering Humvees. I sent you some fucking pictures of that shit too.
Yeah. Well, no, I was there for that. I was.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, show your fucking, your friends online, your fake internet friends. They definitely care about you. Don't worry about it, man. You have friends.
Bitch ass. I created 6 different personalities of me, so I know.
I've seen all of your rewards, bro. I was like, oh hey man, so you got three accounts that have like 100,000 views. He's like, I was like 8. I'm like, okay.
No,
bro.
it was more. I was like.
Yeah, kind of on his fingers, drooling a little bit, but it's fine. But no, so we linked up with like the regular National Guard, and they had the LMTVs and all that kind of shit, and the Humvees, and we didn't have any high water vehicles. They didn't have weapons, and it was
none of them. None of these
dangerous.
Well, that was their first time going out.
Yeah.
And I don't think the National Guard knew that. We're like, yo, listen, like they out here shooting, like we're all armed. Like me and Far didn't come out here with weapon systems, but the second we got out there, Josh was like,
he's like, hey, man, I got a fucking safe full of rifles, dude, and he's handing out fucking Bushmasters to dudes.
So Drew heard Far talking. They're like, okay, well, what are you guys good at? Like, how can you guys help? And then he's like, well, we're both like, he's like, I'm a sniper guy, and then Nico's a recon guy. He's really good on med and stuff like that too. And then Drew was like, oh, you're Bravo 4 qualified? He's like, yeah, I'm an actual like U.S. Army sniper. He's like, cool, boom, long gun. And then he's like, oh, what about y'all? And then Far was like, yo, he'll fuck it up on the medical, anything amphibious. And then if you want to give him like a shotgun, they're like, Nico will be the first one in like on any of the CQB shit.
Just crazy
he's like, bro, he's like, oh, you want a shotgun or a pistol? And I was like, I'll just take a shotgun. I can work with that. Like, whatever.
Yeah. I'll make it work.
I have to show the photo with that too. The photo of all of us on the truck.
Yeah,
that we
in the back of the truck.
That was the same night.
Naza shit. Yeah, that was fucking good shit, dude.
So we got that convoy to help us out that night. We're all in the briefing room. It's like maybe 9 to 10 o'clock at night, and Josh like comes running in, and he's like, "Hey, we just got a call. Someone they're waving around guns in this apartment complex. There's people still living there on the second story. And we need to go now." And I remember getting in these Humvees, and then the National Guard people are like,
"What are we doing, man?" Like, no, dude, like drive, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, we're
just armored. You're fine.
Yeah, no, well, they didn't understand. They thought they were just there to like give food and shit. We're like, nah, that's not the type of work we're like doing here. Like
about that life.
Yeah, we're like,
Walmart's open.
Yeah, we're like, this is a small group of people. Like we're trying to like get people out of homes. We're trying to collect like dead bodies, find where dead bodies are at, and we're trying to stop like the looting and shit. Like you said, we're all doing different things at different point in the day, like on a rotation. We get in the vehicles and we're like, we got to drive to here, follow that lead vehicle. There's a guy with a gun. And then I remember the NCO in charge of that convoy was just an E5. And he was like, wait, a gun? He's like, I'm not putting my soldiers on the line. We're like, what the fuck did you come out here for?
Fucking Humvee, dude.
Yeah,
like,
what did you come out here for? And then they're like, okay, well, we'll like follow you guys. So me, Far, and Josh were in that lead vehicle.
Yeah, and I was on Humvee, like right behind you guys.
Yeah, because we had a guide. Yeah, you're on the turret. You're like, I ain't never done this. This is cool.
Bro, because I was the only one with a rifle, and I had night vision, and like the fucking headlights were dog shit. So I was up in the top with the AR, and like we whip up to that shit, right? And then like we pull up, and that chick had some dude like on the ground, like next to us.
I don't know if I would mention the part where we turn the corner, and then like I'm trying to, because there's like 1 or 2 points where I'm like, I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble. Wait, we pull up. I'm in the car with Josh, right? And we pull up, and we're about to like. To us, like, this is real. Like, this is one of the few things, like, we're good at, and we're going to, like, shine here, right? We're like, all right, we're going to fucking jump out this bitch. We're going to start, like, assaulting and clearing these complexes and, like, get, like, a high-low ready. Me being, like, subordinate to Far, I'm like, hey, Far. Like, I totally, like, even though Josh is, like, running everything, just kicked him aside. I was like, hey, how are we dismounting this? And then Far's like, well, we're kind of here helping. Josh, how do you want to do it? And then Josh looked at us, he's like, oh, the guy's got a gun. I thought you guys were just going to like take over. Bro, and I was like,
I'm fucking falling out of the fucking turret because I don't want to go down and out the door because everyone else is already out. So I'm hopping out and like running down the hood. Like, wait for me, guys. I want to fucking stack up too.
And we had no idea what we were walking into because it was such like a small amount of information. Yeah. But once Josh said that, Far just looked at me. He's like, it's on you. I was like, all right, we're going to do a quick dismount and let's just get on the building. So immediately we jump out. And I think I remember talking to the Humvee drivers after, like, dude, you scared the fuck out of us. We thought we were getting shot at. Right. Like immediately because me and Far, we just jumped out. We stuck up on this wall. Josh puts that vehicle in park. And then he jumps out and he gets up on us too. Then everybody gets out. Your ass is coming down off the Humvee. You're like, for me, boys, I'm coming. It's going to be fun. Bro. Josh walks us up onto that building.
Yeah.
By the way, at this point in time, there's probably like
30 people outside.
There's 30 people outside collectively, but there's like
Staring.
10 of us
Yeah.
with weapon systems walking up the single flight of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's weird me being like, I was like younger than everybody by like fucking a lot of years. Okay. But I had to whip around to like some of the officers and shit. And I was like, stop. And I was like, stay here. And then there's like 6 of us going up the steps at this point in time. And we stack up on the outside,
So,
right?
yeah, so it's like it's almost like a motel type setup.
Yeah, it was a motel
rail on the
type
outside. There's so like the hallway on the outside, and then like each individual apartment with like a window on the side.
Yeah.
And so like everybody stacked up on like the short side of the window, and then they all are holding because there's a fucking. I remember there was like the window was broken.
Yeah, I remember
and
you
there
the
was,
one
some
who like went in there and
cardboard. Yeah.
you
We
were,
swept it out of the way.
yeah,
And
I
like,
remember because I was like this dude. I was like, I hope because you guys were right in front of the window, and I remember
we're looking like
not
stacked
you,
out to the side, and y'all were like right here, and just kind of went in and fucking like swept it.
That was hot because the one dude in front of you, I don't know who the fuck it was,
It was
but they were
Josh.
standing right. No, it wasn't Josh.
Because he and I linked up because it was Josh, Far, you, me, Captain Hack, etc. And I went up to Far. I was like, "Hey, Josh and I went to SWAT school together, so let's swap." And he and I'll run fucking point because we'll hit the door together. And it was like right after that shuffle, we fucking split that window.
Well, you guys were before we even went in. We were making calls.
Yeah, we were. I mean, the communication, dude, that's the smoothest fucking raid like I've ever been a fucking part of. And it's like, dude, I trained with one of the fucking dudes. Y'all two had trained together, and then there were like some other fucking guys who were with us who just had like some experience. But like I've never had like an impromptu like raid or any situation like that run smoother than that one did. Like that shit was so fucking clean, dude. Fucking swept the shit. Checked they're not in that fucking window
Because we were making calls. We're like, whoever the fuck is in there,
yeah,
you have a gun,
announcing,
put it down. They're like, come, unlock the door and move away. I remember you put your hand in there, you ripped out, and you were like, there's guns on the bed.
Bro, there were so many.
Called out
there were
like
like
these
17
guns,
fucking guns in that house.
I remember I was like, well, I got a shotgun. I was like, I remember I was at the back. I was like 4-man, right? I was behind you, and I canted out because I was like, these motherfuckers just say there's a bunch of guns on the fucking thing. And I kind of like cant out and like lean, and I see a bunch of shit. I was like, someone's getting shot. I was like, all right.
Bro,
but
hit that fucking door. Fucking shit comes out, call that short wall, come around. That dude's like, what the fuck? Because there's
he didn't answer the calls either. We're like,
he was like
open
watching
the
TV
fucking
or some shit, bro. Like,
I remember you guys went in, and then I like am about to move in, and I just remember fucking seeing it's a tiny
oh my god, it was
room.
so the whole apartment was the size of this fucking room, dude.
And I remember I had to whip around quick because I was like, bro, we all gonna die. Like I was like, short room. I was like, short room. And then
fucking,
Cap was like,
yeah.
He's like, short room. And then we all like jumped out the doorway and we're like, all right, we're just gonna pull external and then like hold on the windows.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had to cross the fucking the doorway and get back on that window with him. We're like, I was like, I'm just gonna watch this shit.
Because we had that dude immediately. As soon as we hit that fucking door, he came in. He was right there. He was shocked. Had him on the fucking ground. We were holding him. There was like a little kind of fucking bullshit kitchen, bathroom area, and then like kind of around the corner. So like, I mean, there were like 10 of us, and there was
a lot of us.
Maybe like 5 of us fit in that whole fucking apartment.
Yeah.
And then it just turned into a huge clusterfuck. And then I say it went smoothly. The raid went smoothly. Everything else was as per usual.
Yeah.
But then like we started looking at shit. There's like guns behind the TV and fucking
everywhere.
Like there were like literally like 17 fucking guns in this apartment.
We're like, what were you doing? Because I remember Josh was talking to me. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm just really drunk, man. He's like, I went outside and like did some shit. He's like,
it was like
something
about this girl or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Always.
Basically, like without spreading more information about like how the conversation went, everything, like it settled down. Everything was like accounted for. And I remember like the guy was like so thankful to Josh for like being extremely professional, like
for not fucking killing him.
Yeah, bro. I was like excited. I was like, oh, I'm some element. Like this can go either way. I really don't care. I should not be a cop.
Wish the motherfucker would, bro.
Move, twitch.
Shit.
Bow. Like it was whatever. I remember the guy. Do you remember this? You were standing right by Josh, and the guy was like, "Hey man, like thanks for it." He's like, "You guys want like a beer?"
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Josh was like, "I will take you to jail right now." Are you stupid? Yeah. I started dying laughing. I had to run away. I had to run out of the fucking room, bro. I was like, "Oh, this is so great."
He was sitting on the couch, is what it was, because he had just made like mac and cheese or some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
and he was like eating something. And then like we were making announcements and shit, and like I don't think he knew it was for him. We hit that
he was
door.
Fucked up.
Oh,
so
he was fucked up.
Yeah.
Everybody was. Not us, obviously. But everybody who was in that situation,
Yeah.
like living there, like there's nothing else to do other than like drink your pain away. And yeah, so he was like getting up off the couch because we had just hit the door.
Yeah.
He was like, "What the fuck?" And then like everybody's in there. He's like, "What the fuck?" But
Bro,
yeah.
I remember just him because by the time I literally turned that corner to call short room, I'd already seen him like going on his knees because he was in like he was like an actual like tidy whities.
Yeah, and like a fucking wife beater.
And like a white beater or
yeah,
t-shirt.
It was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
just like, wow, man, like people actually wear that
You're
shit,
like,
huh?
fucking
Cool,
holy shit, we're in a movie. This
It's
is
just like
great.
this, man, bro.
Oh my God.
I know how this one is.
Yeah. But that was fun. We went back. I remember I started giving IVs to people and like running lines on you guys.
I gave Trevor an IV. Oh, dude, this shit, man. He was sitting in the fucking. we got a picture of this somewhere. He was sitting in like the judge's seat, like the mayor seat / judge's seat in that fucking thing. And I stuck him with the IV and I hung it from the fucking eagle on top of the flag.
Yeah.
In the
that's what I did
courtroom.
with Drew. I have that photo. I have to find it. Yeah,
and I was just like, oh, fuck it, dude. Like, exigent circumstances, man.
That's what we did. I just started taking the duct tape that I had and like everybody who sat on that city console board, I just took duct tape and I fucking duct taped the fucking IV bag, the saline to the wall.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a good time.
Man. That was a good shit. That shit was so humid though that like you dehydrated like that.
Oh yeah,
it was fucking terrible, just sweating and everything.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was giving it to Hack, right?
Yeah.
I gave him it was you, me, and Far running IVs for everybody.
Yeah.
And I remember, I mean, y'all didn't even fucking know me at all. And Far's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait for him to give me an IV. And I'm like, Far had my back. He's like, no, Nikko do it. He's like, Nikko actually taught me. And then he's like, you know how to do it. And I was like, yeah. But
it's not hard.
When I did it on him, because I was like so sweaty and shit, I fucked up the first.
You were sweaty. That's what it was.
Well, dude, everybody, I had like gloves on and my shit. I was like, I'll do a glove
gave
swap.
a fuck, like
yeah. I was trying to be cool and like I wore gloves and shit.
BSI.
Yeah. So I fucked up on him and he's like, you don't know what you're doing. And I was like, sorry. Here, I was like, I got that. And I was able to stick him after that, but I was like, I'm fucking it up. I was like, not building relationships right now at all.
That shit was fucking wild.
I mean, that was pretty much endless. Because what was that? Like maybe like 3 or 4 days.
Dude, yeah, it was real quick. It was like 4 or 5 days, and we were just running and gunning the entire fucking time. Slept at like, maybe.
I think I only slept the first time, the first night, because we got there in the morning. That day we finished the swamp patrols and shit, whatever the fuck. Slept, and then like maybe like halfway through, like till like 1 and 3 in the morning, we were up again.
Yeah, dude, fucking just like constantly.
But so then everybody goes home, right? And we're like, cool, we're all brothers now. Like I was like, David, you're a fucking idiot, but I love you. You're a cool guy, right?
Like you were begging to hang out with us any chance you got.
I was
hey
like,
guys, you want to go
again?
shoot, man? Hey guys, you want to go do this?
I live on a fucking base. I'm not driving my ass out to Texas.
And yet you did.
Oh, to the ranch.
Yeah,
no,
fuck
but that wasn't until after. You're thinking about.
True.
I was like, this was not.
Yeah,
we weren't even like. I was not close with y'all, so I would not. I was like, I would not be saying that shit. But that was after like Maria and shit like that. Yeah. When I was actually friends, I was like, bro, I'm just trying to go shoot.
I just want to be friends.
Yeah, well, I was like, I'm trying to use these 4 days and get the fuck out of here.
Anything's
like,
better than Louisiana.
Yeah, I was like, this place sucks. But we all go home, right? And then what happened? Fucking literally.
So y'all did Maria, but I had to go back to work. And so
no, we're missing Irma still.
No, you're right. Okay, so Irma happened, and y'all did Irma, and I couldn't get off work for Irma. And so y'all like went out because it was you. Oh shit. And that's when you met because you met fucking Zach, the BSO guy.
I met Zach. Yeah,
y'all met all, and then y'all had all that fun in fucking Irma.
Well, you met up with us.
So then
in the keys
Irma
to
ended.
Start.
So Irma ended, and y'all came back because that's when like Drew and I were going back and forth a lot. So I was doing my thing, y'all were doing yours, and then y'all ended Irma and almost died on that fucking plane crash thing. Right, we're like fell out of the sky a little bit.
Yeah.
Hop in the keys.
Nikko, why don't you like flying? There's a lot of reasons I don't like flying. Whatever. Guess I'm just being a bitch about it.
And so y'all came back, and then immediately after that, like while you were there, like Maria happened.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was, because you got back, and then your unit deployed. because it was all happening right when they were deploying, and you were staying back because you were about to go to fucking.
I was about to go to the schoolhouse.
Yeah,
and then they were like,
shit.
okay.
Have you talked about that on? You've talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which one?
Doing the fucking.
Like all the counter intel stuff. Yeah. Because I was
like, that one super secret.
Well, yeah. Because all I had to do was go through the course, and then it was like, okay, then like you'll delay to deploy, you'll do this, and then you can go link up with whatever during
So you had like a fuck ton of time on your hands.
Yeah.
But I remember like you were kept trying to like get off because there's nothing for you to fucking do at Fort Polk.
Yeah.
And they like wouldn't let you go. And then
no. So here, we'll back up. So like basically everybody went home after Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah.
And then Irma hit like
3 days later. I'm gonna look it up, bro. It was fucking close.
So basically so Harvey was in Texas. Then Hurricane Irma hit in Florida. Literally like 3 weeks later. 2-3 weeks later, a month later. And it was like, holy shit. And all of a sudden I get a text message from everybody. And Trevor hit me up. We were in like a group chat with everybody, and we're like, hey, like FEMA's reaching out.
Yeah.
FEMA wants you guys, like, they heard about all this shit. Lady
of Florida or some shit was asking for y'all.
So the people, the way it worked out is like the state attorney. Is that what the fuck?
Like the AG? Because it was through fucking Miley too, right?
Well, wait, that's too far. That was ahead of the curve. But basically, the state officials in Texas talked to officials in FEMA because Hurricane Irma was fucked up in Florida. Like literally everything was underwater, way worse than it was in Harvey in Texas. But I get a call and they're like, hey, like we want you to go out to Florida to help in Hurricane Irma. I was like, bro, I'm still in the active army. Like people don't get to do that. Like I'm like, I would love to go. But then calls got made to my battalion commander, and Farr was going to go because Farr wasn't going to, go become counter intel and like do all that stuff. So he was going to go to Iraq. And then obviously I'm like, okay, I'm going to link up like after the fact. But he was like, oh, dude, that shit's crazy. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting hit up to go. And then I went to go talk to the battalion commander. Like, so you're like kind of important in like this thing. Me hyping myself up right now. He's like, dude, so people are asking for you. Like, I'm going to let you go for like a whole week. And I didn't have to use none of my leave days. I didn't have to do anything. Like they want you for medical. They want you for like search and rescue shit. FEMA wants to bring you on because we had to be a task force under FEMA in order to operate and get recruited to go and do that. So he's like, you get to go for a week. And Farr's looking at me is like, I don't know, I get to go. He's like, well, they didn't. I don't know. He's like, they didn't really ask, and you're about to deploy. So, and I was like, bro, I'm there. I'm kind of there. I'm like,
they didn't really ask for you. It's kind of like, cool guys only. You weren't invited.
I'm a kid.
Maybe next time, bro. Maybe next time.
I'm young, bro, but I'll be fucking, you know what I'm saying? I was doing my thing, dude.
That's illegal.
I was showing out. But yeah, we go to Florida. That was fucking crazy. Hurricane Irma was, I would definitely say, worse than Harvey. We're trapped in like parking garage because we're over the eye of it, and it's like fucking, oh man, crazy stuff.
You were there during the hurricane.
Oh no.
Like whereas Harvey, we were like 4 or 5 days later. Yeah,
we were after the fact for Harvey, but for Irma, bro, we knew it was coming, and then they're like, we want you guys to go here and like help and do this shit because it's gonna get fucked. And then FEMA just liked it because FEMA don't really do armed shit, but we're like, we're an armed element to ourselves. Like, we good. So we go out there, and we're there before the fact. And, dude, we, like, when Irma hit, we were in a parking garage. And, bro, I thought Harvey was interesting for me, right? Mm-hmm. Like, crazy. Never seen anything like that. Then Irma hit, and I was like, I have never been in the eye of a hurricane, and I had no idea it was like this. Like, you see shit in movies and all that stuff, and you're like, tornadoes are bad. I'm like, I almost feel like this hurricane is worse, but like it was insane. Yeah. But I slept through it, which was really fucking funny.
Yeah, it was so bad, guys. Oh, you can't fucking possibly imagine. But I got the best sleep of my life. It's like, that fucking rain noise that you put on YouTube.
No, we like took cover in this parking garage. There's nowhere else to go, and we're all just sitting there laughing. And then Trevor and Drew were like, "Bro, like you're never gonna get an experience like this. You need to go and like look at what the eye of a hurricane looks like." So we all go to the edge of the parking garage on like the 4th story. We're like looking out, and this wind's like pushing me off the edge, and I'm like, it's like, and I'm like, and we're like watching like this city get like destroyed. Oh, yeah. It was insane. And then after like 2 or 3 hours of just absolute fucker, I was like, I've experienced this now. It would be funny if I could fall asleep. So I just lay in my sleeping bag. I'm staring at the city, and I was like, and I woke up, and I was like, no way. I was like, I fucking slept through that shit.
Best story ever.
Yeah, but yeah, that was Irma. I was bummed that you weren't there. And then Irma ends. I know. I stayed in Florida. I fucking stayed in Florida. Did I meet you in Florida in the Keys?
No, dude. So for when we were trying to go over to Puerto Rico,
yeah,
because we like you stayed there and then you came back and we picked you up out like on our way to Florida. Trevor and I did because like you left your fucking little red cherry car.
Oh, my Ford Focus.
Dude, you left that shit at some podunk police station.
Bro, the fucking drive down there was absolutely terrible. Okay, so I go back. I do remember this now because I remember that was the time I got to see you again, and I was excited. I was like,
I finally got to fucking see you again. Yeah.
I was like, bitch, what you doing out here?
Saw girl.
Yeah, I was like, how you doing, me? And then we take the ride down to the Keys. That just becomes such a blur.
So we went down to fucking to Tampa because we were trying to catch a flight down to fucking Puerto Rico. Yeah, because Maria had just happened. We got invited out there. And we were trying to get a fucking flight, but all the airspace was closed, and everyone. It's just one of those like in that entire situation.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, another hurricane hit.
Yeah, immediately afterwards.
So you had Harvey hit 3 weeks later. Irma, like a week after Irma, Maria hits in Puerto Rico
and fucking decimated the island, dude. Like it was fucking really bad.
Yeah, because was it Maya West?
So we went to Maya West.
Yeah.
But yeah, before then. So I mean, that's all later in the story. So we fucking get invited to Puerto Rico and like everything. So in a disaster situation, as you know, for your fake internet friends, you make that t-shirt.
You were like, we don't like David. He can't come back.
No, dude. So fucking in a disaster situation, like communication is terrible. Everything's fucked up.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying they can do shit and they can't. You know, just because
nobody.
Everybody wants to help. You know.
Yeah.
And so we get invited out. We go roll down to Tampa because there's a jet that's supposed to fly supplies down, and like we're not gonna talk about who this person was who said he was in the CIA. And, dude, so
God.
Bro, we're not gonna talk. So
we're missing a bunch of shit. We're missing the whole lead up to that about our week in random different destinations, bro.
Random,
okay. So
some more than others.
Yeah. So what we
by the way, we get to fucking Florida.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, for everybody in the military, I got
another pass.
I got another 10-day pass because people made the same calls, and then my commander didn't want to do it. Yeah, a congressman, 2 of them, because it was a congressman and because Trevor asked because it was under Trevor's
or Texas dude did. And then a Florida guy did too, I think.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we want Sergeant Nikko Ortiz, and then it was all put under
because he has access to that Connex box that was left unlocked over here, and he's got some shit we want.
Yeah, we want him down here for the training, but they all called. They're like, oh, can we get like this dude Nikko Ortiz down here? Yeah. This is part of another task force again. We heard you guys work for FEMA and da 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 da. My commander didn't want to let me go, but then once that came up the chain of command, he was like, all right, he's like,
I don't know who the fuck you are, Nikko, but
yeah, dude, he's a really good guy, really cool,
awesome.
But he was kind of like he'd never experienced that. He's like, I don't even know if I can let you go. He's like, and the battalion commander honestly doesn't give a fuck. He's like, you can go,
right?
So go. So then I meet with you guys, and we make the fucking drive down there.
16-hour drive down to fucking Tampa. And it was supposed to be drive down, meet at the airfield. Everything's on a timeline, right?
Yeah.
So like we have 15 hours to make the 18-hour drive to fucking Tampa, blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, like hit time after hit time.
We're getting right on this fucking plane and we're flying down. Never fucking works out. So we get down there, we get to the airfield, and the dude is so fucking full of shit. He's got a warehouse full of stuff that may or may not have made it down, but we disengaged from that. But I remember he circled us all up because it was us, our entire group, and then like 2 other like 8 organizations were there.
Yeah.
And he was like, you don't know what you're going into. Have you ever been in a disaster zone? Or like,
and we're all just kind of like
2 hurricanes. Yeah. Like,
okay.
Have you ever been to war?
Yeah. And we're like,
you ever seen a dead body? And it's like, bro, like we're all like first responders. Like we've been doing this. Like we're all experienced, like beyond the fucking hurricanes and shit. And so he was like I remember this like raise of hands if you've ever seen a dead body, and like everybody's hand went up. Like, all right, man. And he was just like, oh well,
he's like, fuck, my dick is small now,
bro. Like, fucking, come on, man, it's ridiculous. So anyways, so that initial flight doesn't happen for whatever reason, and so we go and stay at like it was a really nice hotel. It was like a Wyndham or not a Ritz.
Oh,
it was
the
like a
first
fucking,
hotel.
Yeah, we were there for like 2 or 3 nights.
So for those, no, we were only there for a night.
Maybe because
we were there for a night.
Expensive.
So to backtrack a little bit, we went to an airfield because we were supposed to go to Puerto Rico to assist with Maria. We're at the airfield. We slept at the airfield for a night. I don't know if you remember that. We had to sleep in the giant bay.
Did, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
We slept in that giant bay on the airfield. No plane comes through. And then they're like, oh, well, you guys can continue to stay here or whatever. And then
the dude was being weird. So we're like,
yeah, we're like, we're not hanging around these people. Like, they're sketchy. We had like a bunch of equipment. And then Zach had brought like really, really expensive shit because he had brought all the new like repelling shit and like all that.
I love that dude. He bought
Zach
so much fucking shit.
And then he's like, bro, we can use this stuff. And I remember this is the first time I think
they
I got
weren't,
on
like,
Zach's
life
bad
safety,
side
bro.
because
Yeah.
it was like all this like expensive harnesses and shit.
Yeah.
And then
none of it was fucking like rescue rated.
No, none of it was
Like-
rescue rated. And then he's like, we need this stuff. And then I don't know. I think Trevor turned to me. He's like, hey, Nikko, how would you do it? And I was like, oh, just give me some like 18 feet of rope.
Yeah, Swiss
because
seat.
I can
Swiss
cut it.
seat, yeah.
I'll tie everybody up a Swiss seat. And then we have a line for rappel, belay, like whatever. And then Zach's like, fucking bullshit, man. And I was
But
like,
it was like fucking 4. He's gonna see the shit out of us. He was like hot
a
as
lot
fuck,
of good
man.
shit. We all used Zach shit.
Yeah, we were fucking lost without
Zach
him.
clutched it super fucking hard.
Well, plus he had all the contacts.
Oh, yeah,
he runs a really big. Well, I guess it's dead now, but he ran a really big page. Really big. Got us a ton of support. He was fucking absolutely intact.
Yeah, he was a huge
Just
asset
super
to
fun to
everybody.
dog on because he's not
Zach
here.
is funny as fuck.
We love you, Zach.
But yeah, so then we went to that hotel. We're at that
went to
hotel
the
for a night.
hotel.
Dude, I remember.
Bro, we talk our way into the fucking conference room for free, and then fucking Trevor breaks the thermostat when we were trying to plan how to get down there. Remember that shit?
Yeah, well, because we get there. Do you know what's so funny is we're walking around all these civilians and shit, and we're just these dudes walking in with like giant rifles and weapon systems.
Yeah, I sent you the pictures of the fucking on the rolling carts. It's all Pelican cases, and armor and helmets and all this fucking shit, and it was all like news crews. It was all like news crews and like NGO dudes.
And they're all just like,
who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, and we're all just
walking
like,
around in cries and fucking
we're just,
t-shirts
like,
and shit.
through
Like,
and
I had my
everything.
fucking mohawk, like looking like an absolute just moron.
We
But,
thought we were cooler than we were and shit.
I mean, that's the story of our life.
Yeah.
Well, story of my life. I don't fucking look at you, bro.
It was fun. It was a great time.
Bro, that shit was wild.
And then we were at that hotel. Yeah, we went. What did we need? Oh, we were trying to. I remember we went why we did that conference, and it was to like plan how to get there, and then we're like, oh, what if we do? We come across like I'm gonna kind of breeze past this, but like we were talking about like like logistics and like transport, and then like we were talking about like building like SKTs and shit like that.
Yep.
Those of you who don't know what a SKT is, it stands for Small Kill Team, because we're like Puerto Rico was really, really bad. Okay, so Puerto Rico, there was like, if you're driving like semi trucks with like oil or like
fuel,
gas or fuel or anything, dudes were literally driving up and like robbing you, like gunning down like the semi trucks, and they were just taking off with it.
I was trying to go to dinner, dude. Like we were sitting outside in Trevor's truck.
Oh my god, that's what we kept
trying to
going
go to
Denny's.
dinner. Yeah. No, that was after that. That was at the resort.
Oh shit.
But bro, so like we're fucking. I'm sitting outside trying to go to dinner, and y'all walk out from your little secret squirrel meeting because you kicked us all out. Other than like you, Far, Trevor, Miley, and like one
everybody
other person.
who was gonna shoot was in the meeting.
Yeah, and you come out and you're like, all right, man, you're on SKT2 with me, and I was like, what? Like, bro, I want to eat. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
I was like, this bitch, because I knew you won't want to be part of it.
Hell
so
yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was like, you know who I'll take in my team? I was like, give me David. David's good at medical shit. I'll take him, and I can just focus on like shooting and manipulating my team, right?
Yeah.
So
I was like, bro, I was like, wait, we're doing what?
And then, but then
Fuck
I was
yeah,
like,
all right,
this
here we
bitch
go.
gonna fucking forget when we try and call the team. And he's like, who the fuck is that?
Oh,
But yeah,
fuck you, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to keep you included, and you were just focused on food, you
Oh, and
fucking
then-
bitch. But yeah, so we leave the hotel.
Yeah.
And somebody found a new hotel. We drive further into the Keys.
Well, someone on the team like knew of this place via whatever the fuck, and was like, "Yo, I got a place that we can stay as a resort." And I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
We're
dude,
like,
this
bro,
would
we
be
live
awesome.
in
anything,
big, dude.
Yeah, anything but this hotel that's costing us like $300 a night.
Well, I mean, we didn't pay for that. I didn't fucking pay for shit.
You didn't pay for it. Fucking. Well, I didn't pay for it either. Zach paid for it. He paid for like him in my room, and like I was like, oof. So you know,
damn tragic, because we had those FEMA tickets.
Yeah, that's right.
We had FEMA
Yeah,
tickets
y'all
to cover
had
the
fucking
hotel.
FEMA shit. Yeah, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
I was like,
You got-
see, I'm
'cause you
like,
got
I'm
food,
like
too,
on the
and
record
we didn't
here.
have fucking food. Like we had to go buy our own food.
Bitch, I shared everything with you. Don't lie to me.
Anyways. So they're like, yeah, we got a place we can stay at. It's called
Whatever the fuck.
this
land.
resort. And so my grandparents lived not at that they had moved at that time, but like a couple years prior, like through my childhood, they lived across the road from that resort. And so growing up, like I saw the wall with the name on it. And so when they said that, I was like, oh, we're in Tampa. We're in fucking, area of Tampa.
Like, oh, it's
very familiar.
It's a nice resort.
And
I'd love to go there.
And I was like, I know about this place. Like I've heard about this place as a kid because like my family would make jokes about it. And so like, this can't be the same one, man. So we roll up.
Y'all ain't ready.
So we roll up to
this resort
XYZ
where we're going to be sleeping for like 3 to 4 days.
For like a fucking week and a half. And it's a nudist resort.
It
like
is
a clothing optional
nudist resort. No. It is like a nudist
like
resort.
Colony.
Yeah,
like,
it's a nudist. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It was like a nudist colony.
With a resort attached.
Yes.
And so we roll up and we're like, oh shit, it's clothing optional.
No, we had when we walked into the lobby and
like,
I just see dicks.
People are fucking
and
naked,
I'm
like everywhere.
I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it's like people on drugs. It's a old people nudist colony. For those of you who don't, like middle-aged fucking people. Everybody there was like maybe like 40 years old and up.
50s and up.
Yeah.
Late 50s
so don't
and
think I got lucky and I was having a great fucking time because you're
Bro.
wrong.
And then, so like everyone's kind of like, trying to get the vibe and like kind of like make trying to make like,
the best of
like
it.
The best of it. Trying to, wow, we're integrate. And so we're going back and forth and we're like, hey, I'll do it if you do it. I'll do it if you do it.
Basically, that's our story. We commit to staying there. We're like, fuck it. Like, because it was free. That was staying there was 100% free.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're going to stay here. And like, it is what it is. They had a bar and a tiki lounge. They had pools and shit. They had
like beautiful
volleyball
resort.
courts.
It was super
amazing
small.
Resort. Super small, but it was like, it was cool, right?
Yeah.
So
super nice people. Like,
yeah,
unbelievably nice.
It's because they all wanted to fuck us. That's the thing. There was hella swingers there. They even had. We were there for swingers night.
We were there for like a week and a half, dude.
No, I remember we were only there for like
no, we were there
5
for
days.
a fucking hot. I thought it was longer than that. We were there for a hot fucking. It felt like a week and a half. Shit, might have only been 5 days.
I don't know, dude. It wasn't because there's no. I wasn't
Bro,
gone
it was
for that
a
long.
long fucking time. Whatever it was a long fucking time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we committed to the role a couple times and just one of those things. And there were a couple of the dudes who were like, man, they had the best fucking vacation of their life over there.
Yeah, it was
took full advantage of that situation. But we kept, so you would either get like super drunk at the tiki bar
all day,
right?
just getting fucked
because there's
up.
nothing to do other than plan, and like you can only plan for so many hours a day for shit that's not happening at the time. And then you think better when you're drunk too. So excellent plan. And then we get fucking like hammered, and then we would go to Denny's. Like we would leave.
Well, no, you guys would get fucked up.
No,
I couldn't drink.
You couldn't drink. Zach was drinking very heavily at the time, as a lot of people were.
Everybody was getting.
I couldn't afford to drink heavily, and Trevor was driving, so he was very responsible.
Yeah.
So we would go and go to fucking Denny's.
Yeah.
And Trevor is a federal officer, and so we're rolling, and I remember one time we went to Denny's and Zach was there, and he was trying to sober him up before we came back. And there was like drug deals going on in the parking lot.
Oh, that was funny. I remember this.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there, we're just watching out the window, all these fucking drug deals going on. There's this one car. And this guy gets out, walks up to the car, gets in the car. He's in there for a little bit as we're wrapping up. And as we go to leave, he exits the car and starts walking across the parking lot. And so we're in, fucking as per usual, cries and a fucking.
Yeah, we're all wearing like
a t-shirt or whatever. Just like normal shit.
We all look like cops.
Looking like super fucking cool guys. So we thought. And so we're walking over to fucking Trevor's truck, and we're leaning on the truck, and the guy comes walking by, and he's like, "Oh, are y'all National Guard?" Trevor looks this dude dead in the fucking eyes, and he's like, "Nah, police." And bro, And I'm like, I'm not a cop, bro. Like, none of us are cops except for you, dude. So we're just kind of like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Bro.
dude, Trevor's leaning on his truck. He's like, nah, police. It was so funny. And this dude was like,
accent. Okay, well.
Have a great night, officers. Bye-bye.
Stiff walks to his fucking car.
So funny.
Police.
We were getting, I remember every single day for like 3 days straight.
Milkshakes.
Chocolate milkshakes. Chocolate milkshakes at Denny's.
Dude, we would be fucking walking around looking at all the shit at the fucking, at the resort and be like, hey, milkshakes. Milkshake. Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Dude, that was such a good time. I am not going to lie to you. I miss it so much.
That was fucking so awesome.
So points to those like that are like highlights of my life. Like, bro, 100%. Honestly, much fun. Dude. Such a good time. Actually doing like good shit. Like, bro, you know,
dude, sitting in the fucking.
The journey you go on is so unexpected. And then we got back that exact night. That's when we got back. And then like the entire team is in the pool playing volleyball. And then the hostess.
Yeah. They're all like fucking naked as shit. Yeah.
They're all naked. And the hostess. And I was like, oh God, bro. What the fuck is happening?
Really, oh, and then the hotel room. So there was one bed and 3 of us, normal size
one
adults.
Bed, 3 dudes,
and I will not be sandwiched between 2 strapping young men.
Guys, guess who slept in the middle of all 3 men? This fucking guy. So here's the thing.
Pictures to prove it.
I was not sleeping on the fucking floor because I'm like,
I did that one night.
Yeah,
and it was so fucking cold in there. And I dragged a lawn one of the beach layout chairs, dragged that shit in,
floor.
And then a tile floor, and then there were no blankets, and so I had towels, like those shitty ass fucking little towels. And I got like 4 towels, and I am shaking. But I'm like, I will not get in bed with these men. And of course I did it. Dude, I wasn't gonna fucking freeze to death in Florida in fucking August. But like,
I will not get in bed with these men. Dude.
Bro,
and then the next night.
It was so cold.
Bro, no, well, here's the thing. This is why I did it, because that was the next night.
Yeah. Like, no, we're going to do this, man.
You're like, I'm not fucking doing this again. And I was like, Trevor was like, I ain't getting in the fucking middle. You fucking gay sons of bitches. Like, he's like, y'all would, he's like
the most problematic dude in our lives, man.
He's like, y'all would love that shit. You love me being in the middle, wouldn't you? And I was like, no, I was like, I've done way gayer shit. I'm the only one of us who's been in the military. I'll sleep in the middle. I'm cool with it, bro.
Bro, and he had just started going through that fucking that laser hair removal. Remember that shit? I don't know why this stuck in my head. So he was getting, this is so gross. He was getting laser hair removal on his back, right? And so this stuck in my head because he took his fucking shirt. Dude's a fucking like grizzly bear looking dude.
Yeah.
Took his fucking shirt off, turned around, and there were like mowing lines in his fucking back.
Oh shit!
And I was like, what the fuck happened to you, bro?
I thought that was from him laying on the ground,
dude,
or like
right?
his shirt, and
it was like fucked
had a
up
formation or something.
Yeah, he did like lines all down his back, and I'm like, dude, what is going on with your back? He's like, oh, laser hair. The bitches love that shit. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, if it looks like that, dude, like, that is not right, man. That is not right. I'm definitely not sleeping behind you.
Bro, my ass is in the middle. I was like, whatever. I didn't give a fuck, bro. The only thing that sucked is, like, going pee during the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Well, no, not the tile. I'm worried about sliding over a man, both men with all of our like shirts off, because we had like limited clothes. So we're like, all right, sleep with your shirt off, because we're all dirty as fuck. Like, our clothes were all fucked. Like, we're recycling clothes at this point in time,
and it's humid as shit. It's fucking wet.
So we're like, we cannot get in this bed, like, fuck, because they didn't bring new sheets and shit like that. So we're like, we have to get in here and like clean boxers every night, basically. So I'm like, I'm not gonna slide over these men. Fucking
and you're clean.
Sweating during the middle of the
my
night.
Boxers will be clean.
Yeah, with my no shirt and your no shirt. So so I was like, I would like have to crawl up, hide on the bed frame, and then walk off the bed in order to go pee, and then slim me back into bed.
Oh
dude.
My god, that shit was fucking wild, dude.
Oh god, dude, it was such a funny fucking time,
bro. And then we started planning. So we figured out that our flight wasn't gonna happen. We had to organize our own fucking flight.
We had to organize our own means of getting to Puerto Rico.
This is the shit that's gonna sit in the fucking prison, man. So we FEMA, the way FEMA works is my understanding is they start in the most populous area, and then they have X amount of days to start distributing supplies, and they form, and then they work out from that area. It makes a ton of sense, right? But with Puerto Rico, like it's very pocketed civilization. That's the wrong word. Pocketed population, right?
Yeah.
And so it's all very civilized, very beautiful area. Please don't cancel me. So so they're like, so one of the dudes was from Mayahuez, right? Which is like
Luis.
far west side of the island. And there's an airfield over there. And it's like not super used because there's a larger airport just a little bit north of that.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, well, that's ours, right? We're going to take that shit. Ain't no one doing nothing there.
That's where I started getting hyped up. When we went into another meeting. Because I remember
A-team shit, dude.
Bro,
fucking A-team shit.
Well, I got hyped up because literally the entire meeting was we walk into the room, right? We walk into the room and they're like, guys, we are going to
our war room. Just so y'all can picture this, is the nightclub on the fucking nudist colony. So there's like stripper poles and fucking neon lights, and the VIP tables is where he had maps and shit spread out, and then the fucking disco ball was going, and we were just like trying to have this fucking conversation about, hey, we're gonna fucking do this shit, blah blah blah, and then just this fucking the ambiance of just debauchery, man. It was fucking awesome.
It was
we were at home.
But basically the end of the brief basically happened like, hey, listen, we're seizing an airfield, and I'm like,
literally the words, we're gonna seize the Mayahuez airfield,
and I was like, so we're going in there with guns because
like half the dudes were Rangers.
The gangs that were in there and shit too were like not allowing planes to fly out. Like in Puerto Rico, the gangs and like the criminal organizations were not letting people fly out. So like, we're gonna have to go on this airfield. We don't know what's gonna be there because last time there were like thieves and shit there, and they weren't letting people fly in or out. So we're actually gonna have to go in there. We're gonna have to seize it and take it.
Yeah. So the initial plan, and this is like, I'm sure some of your viewers like are extraordinarily professional. So the plan you were about to hear will not work, and it would not have worked.
But I was gonna do it.
So fucking awesome, and we would have made that shit fucking. We would have died, but it would have been fucking awesome.
No. I told y'all, I was like, you guys follow me, we're gonna be okay. But y'all need to be fit enough to do what I'm about to tell you to do.
So like, because we were gonna take the Mayahuez airport and then push up from that to the big airport where shit was flying in, and try and link with like the fucking feds up there
on foot,
which like having now been there probably would
ain't
not
no fucking way.
No,
everything is like mud is fucked up.
Dude, as far as it's like fucking 30 miles through the mountains. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. like we can call a taxi.
I was hyped up though, because I remember y'all were like, we're seizing this airfield, and they're like.
So we wanted that airfield because there was a port right there that was also closed. We had to open the port, which actually they did end up doing. Like, I wasn't involved in that, but like the team did end up fucking opening that, and they opened the airfield, which was fucking like actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
But like, it was pretty much just along for the ride. Like,
well, because when they told us this, I remember I got hyped up and I was like, oh, we're going. This is gonna be great.
Bro.
And we're like, how are we gonna do it? And I was like, this is what we're gonna do. I was like, guys. The plane, whatever they were saying to the pilot, they're like, the pilot's nervous about it. So basically he's saying he's going to land, we're going to immediate dismount and like go. So I'm like, listen. And I remember I devised up the plan to y'all, and I was like,
stop, dive out the fucking window on an unlit airfield. Okay. So we had two plans. So we wanted to get like a King Air that could fly, which I don't really think that would have fucking made it all the way to Puerto Rico, but whatever, we can all hope and dream. But we wanted like a little fucking plane. We like you, me, Trevor, fucking. I think it was one of the Ranger cats.
No, it was one of the Ranger dudes, and then it was Zach, because I was like, everybody that goes to
Zach
do
had
the
fucking
insertion,
binos too, and like we needed
everybody
like I had my 14.
Had to have nods.
Yeah,
everybody had to have nods for the insertion.
And so we're going to land. We're going to land at night on an unlit airfield. First major red flag. With a civilian pilot,
do it, bro. Y'all were nervous. I was like, we can do this.
And it was gonna land, rolling stop, pop the door, jump out. It takes off and goes.
Yeah.
So then we were like, well, we don't really want to walk, but we have this awesome truck that Trevor has. and we've seen the fucking movies. We're going to put this fucking truck on a fucking skid pallet in the back of a C-130.
Yeah, that was a great plan.
That bitch down. Fucking sit in the fucking seats, push it out the back of a C-130 as it's taxiing down that fucking runway, which it will not fit on. Like that fucking plane would not have landed on the front.
No, there's no.
Bro, and like it got so far that there's like what 3 privately owned C-130s like in the US or some shit.
We tried getting funding and we were trying to get the football player to fund us to get the
we were
fucking
calling people, and then someone said they like were close friends with Sylvester Stallone. That's just kind of like that whole fucking like that environment, the disaster environment, anything like that. Like everybody wants a piece of the pie.
We were tugging at strings to anybody. We were like, fuck, we kind of need money because FEMA wasn't gonna get us there. They were like, y'all are like, they hyped us up, they gassed us up, and they're like, y'all are like actually able to do this shit. Like, because FEMA was fucked because the reason it took so long to recover is they were only drawing for people who were already there or the Navy ships and like whatever the fuck vessels were able to pull up and dock and like assist. So they were like, y'all know what you're doing. Can you get there, please? And we're like, fuck. All right, let's see if we can like work some magic for fun. Yeah, I guess. So when we're not getting paid for any of this, by the way. This shit is all free.
Made it to the island. Like there were a couple of the people with the team that like were affiliated with FEMA, like actually affiliated with FEMA.
Yep.
And so they, they would go to the big command post at the convention center in San Juan every couple of days, link up with them and figure out what was going on. And they were organizing like rotor wing assets and shit to fucking move shit around the island.
Yep.
And I had nothing. Like they would like, hey, there's these medical calls that need to be handled based off of like Facebook groups or some shit. Hey, can you go check on this person? He needs this, that, or the other. And and so me and a dude who now works for the government, so say his fucking name. He was a local dude. He and I would link up, and he was, federal law enforcement on the island. We would go find whoever it was that we were looking for. We were locating people for like the State Department and helping evacuate them, which was fucking super awesome. But like, so during the day, like I would go with, essentially my handler or my local guide, and we would go do whatever the fuck we needed to do. And the rest of the team was doing like team shit for like the organization. That's when they were opening up the port and opening up the fucking airport. And then they were securing like the rotor wing shit and the fucking supplies. And, they sourced a ton of supplies from a ton of fucking people who were dissatisfied with how how slow the response was from the government.
Well, the thing is like, I was just about to say, I was like, everything happened like extremely slow. Like,
well, just like the way that the government works is so fucking slow.
Yeah, and like,
and it really has, like, to be fair, like it's really,
it does.
Like,
no, it does.
Real way to expedite that.
Nobody was prepared for that. No one was prepared for fucking damn near 3 hurricanes to hit the direct U.S. and then U.S. territories outside where you have to fucking get a plane or like a boat to get there.
Bro, I remember like we were sitting outside of the fucking airfield, just kind of looking up in the mountains. And it's just automatic fire. It was like fucking looking like Tijuana, dude. Like just fucking just like going off across the skyline.
Everyone like, just getting shot during the night. We're like,
dude, like what the fuck, dude? Damn.
I don't think people realize all that stuff's happening. Like, bro, people be getting real life shot, the fuck up during these natural disasters.
Shit is so fucking dangerous. So fucking dangerous.
It's bad, man. It's real bad. But makes for a great story, and it was definitely a highlight of my life, man.
For real.
And we've been
all downhill from there, bro, man. Yeah. All downhill, bro.
Fuck. Oh, man.
Yeah. But, so he's the real deal, man. I mean, it's kind of cool to, not to fucking choke on your dick over here, dude, but
he's hyping me.
I'm fucking, I'm fucking super fucking proud of you and everything you built over here, man. Brag about you all the time to all my fucking friends. I mean, this fucking my little protege over there. I fucking talk about him. Talk about you to him all the fucking time. And, love seeing the shit that you're doing and the success that you're having, man. I'm fucking super proud of you.
I appreciate you, man. Glad to have you out here. I'm glad we're able to actually like keep up and like, we're able to like hang out and
dude, fuck yeah.
do all this shit for a while.
Yeah. But, fuck yeah, dude.
But thanks for coming on, man.
Cool.
And I fucking appreciate you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Next time you're out here, we'll do another one. And we'll talk about more stupid shit that me and David have done throughout our lives. But yeah.
Never ending, man.
It's never ending.
Fucking never ending.
All right. That's it for Brutally Honest, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. What your guys' favorite story was in the podcast. And what else you guys want to see and topics that we have to do. But thanks for stopping by.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Unfollow.
Unfollow.